Hello and welcome to another edition of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem, a show where we answer your most pressing questions about the most recent episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, which was Judge Crater.
Yeah!
All the questions we're answering today came from you guys via our BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page or BuzzFeed Unsolved Twitter page, or directly on the video on Bun.
I'm not drinking a coffee this week because it is sweltering in here. Oh boy, it's one of the dog days of summer over here in LA, I'll tell you what, and we are sweating.
That hat's changed your behavior.
My thighs are sticking to the leather of this office chair.
Oh, I love to hear that, buddy. I love to hear
Boy,
it.
it's like fruit leather.
Can we get some sound on that?
Well, I'm wearing jeans, so they're not actually sticking. But by the end
You're
of
a
this,
fucking liar.
my blue jeans gonna be sapping. As you can see, I'm drinking from my classic Wheeze mug, but it's sweating because I've got actually some cold LaCroix in it because it's so toasty in here.
Oh, also this hat.
Shop BuzzFeedUnsolved.com.
That's the link.
Go and get it. Tell them the Go Boss sent you.
Don't yell at them.
Sorry, we talked about that. Fun app this week.
It's gonna be a
Judge
good one.
Crater.
Let's answer some questions here. We'll start from YouTube. This comes from Katie Kim BB.
Katie Kim. BB.
She says, for postmortem, a complete and unrealistic plot twist would be Stella having something to do with the case. But maybe she got tired of Joe being with other women and had someone take care of him. Maybe her drink, salute, could be from guilt or to throw off suspecting people. Hashtag postmortem. Now, as you remember, Shane, from the episode, Stella.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I don't remember anything.
I mean, possibly.
Yeah.
He was fooling around, Good Time Joe, as they called him.
Good time, Joe.
He had a lot of showgirls in rotation. Yeah, she could have knocked him off, possibly. But I don't think there's a lot of evidence towards that. So I think that's where the trail ends for me there. I certainly think there's a motive, but beyond that, I think she just has a funny little ritual that she has with her long-lost love, her late husband.
Maybe she just likes drinking.
Maybe she wanted
Maybe she likes double fisting.
Yeah, and an excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, this is for my dead
This is
husband.
for my husband.
This is definitely not to support my drinking problem.
Can I get a 6 Tecates? Those are for my husband.
Yeah, could I get 3 fingers of rye too? But 6 fingers of rye, but in 2 separate glasses. It's for my husband who's dead.
We are not making that claim.
Yeah, we're not.
She's no longer with us, I assume.
Probably, but she might have grandkids.
I bet they're cool.
I bet they're cool.
Bet they're cool as hell.
Let's move on here.
Next question is from Warm Radiator. I'm answering this.
What?
Shane saying that he would never wear a bow tie. Also, Shane having a profile picture on Twitter in which he wears a bow tie. That's it. Lies everywhere. I'll tell you what. That was for a wedding.
Shit, dude.
That was for a wedding. I was wearing a tuxedo. I'm talking about the people, and I get this is rich coming from a guy wearing a hat like this.
Yeah, dude, wearing an antique
But
felt hat.
I'll tell you what.
A bespoke hat.
I'll tell you what, you
What is
son
that?
of a bitch. Wait, who's this for? Oh, Warm Radiator, I said that. I apologize for calling you a son of a bitch. That's not sweet. People out here wearing bow ties to work. Huh? What are you doing? You can't be wearing a bow tie to work.
I mean, it is rich coming from
You ever worn a bow tie?
Yeah, of course I've
Casually?
Not casually, but
That's
I'm
what
sure
I
you
thought.
have.
No, I haven't.
You look like a wizard landed on Earth and turned Los Feliz into a person. And just...
Are you saying wizards are from outer space?
Yeah, dude.
That's the biggest reveal
That's
here.
one of those outer space wizards.
I have never owned a bow tie. I think they're reprehensible, and if I ever see you wearing one in the street, I'm gonna beat you up.
Okay, let's go to Instagram. Let's go to Grahamtown.
Oh no!
This comes from McGee.Brenna. For postmortem, since Joseph F. Crater had a vacation house, I was wondering where the Ghoul Boys would pick to have a vacation house. Hashtag Bugara.
I didn't know where the back half of that question was gonna go, and I thought it was gonna be something about the actual episode, and I just wanted to answer about
So
my
you
dream
were
vacation
thrilled
house.
that it wasn't for the
Yeah.
purpose of this show.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. Where would you have a vacation house? I already know my answer right off the top of the dome.
Would you go to like Celebration, Florida or something?
Nah,
You'd
dude.
be one of those guys who like Well, now I live in Disney
No,
World.
no, I'd live
I
in-
get to kiss Mickey Mouse every morning.
I live in the castle and I wouldn't kiss Mickey Mouse.
I think lakes are really nice, though. It's nice to
Yeah.
be on a lake.
A beach house, like something by a body of water or a mountain where I could snowboard. What's your vacation house?
I don't know. I love a lake. Probably somewhere up in like, Wisconsin, Michigan. Those are nice. They got a lot of nice lakes up there. It's very wooded. East Coast is really nice too.
One Ozark then, huh?
No, Ozarks are down in Missouri.
I thought that was Michigan.
No.
Oh.
I've been to the Ozarks. I've seen a mosquito
You
there.
see Jason Bateman?
No.
He doesn't live there?
He lives in Los Angeles, I think.
But that's a documentary, right?
No, Ryan, you got a real issue understanding like fiction. You don't get it, and this is why he believes in ghosts.
What? Let's move on to another question here.
From YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. You read this one, so you shush.
Okay.
Here's from Hi, Minty Leopard. I've got a theory that seems more possible to me. I believe he was murdered by the taxi cab driver. It would make sense as someone who was very wealthy and influential during the Great Depression would do something to make someone's life either miserable or be able to cash in more money in their pocket. If the theory is true that it was a hit by the mob, then why didn't the mob place a hit on any other New York legislator? I do believe that he was murdered by the taxi cab driver for either money or goods.
I mean, that was kind of partly posited in the episode from the lady who had written in a deathbed confession letter, like the "do not open until my death" kind of thing, that he was killed by a taxi cab, and her husband had heard that in passing, I guess. There was some discrepancy in the episode of whether or not he took a cab to the theater after his meal, or if he actually just walked because it was walking distance, and most people would walk that. So.
Such a great way to go.
It's not even clear he got into the cab, let alone got killed by a cab. Like, not like a sentient cab, but like a cab driver.
Whoa, a killer cab?
Like from the Cars universe, yeah. I don't think that's what happened. It's possible though. I mean, it's possible that someone from the mob hooked up with the cab person and paid the cab driver to kill this guy. Let's go to Seal for the postmortem. This is from YouTube. Do you think that Judge Joseph may have been held hostage? Would this explain the money that he withdrew from the bank? Perhaps he understood that he was in danger and tried to get the kidnappers off his back. The thing is, his wife reportedly found that money in their home that he withdrew.
Doesn't make any sense.
Reportedly. So it's possible, well, I guess that would go back into the first theory we had in this show, which was maybe Stella was involved.
This is a very confounding case, Ryan. Yeah. A lot of details that go nowhere.
Yeah, I think that's why it's unsolved. Do you think that he could have been held hostage?
Yeah.
He possibly could have been. I mean, I'm sure he was held hostage.
What if they held him hostage and he was just like, yep, and they were like, let's just fucking kill this guy.
Well, they always usually duct tape a hostage. So
Do they?
So they can't talk.
Well, just let him talk.
What if they're like making noise and they're hiding in like a hideout or something like that?
Well, I mean, if it's good
As
hideout, then...
As one does in a hideout, they hide.
Okay, you're a hostage. What would you be yelling?
Help! I'm being held hostage. Somebody come get me. I'm being held hostage. Please help me, neighbors. I'm not leasing in this building. I'm not a renter.
You know what I would do as your kidnapper, though, then? I'd be like, thanks for reading the lines from my new script. Owen Barker Lloyd says, for postmortem, to celebrate the final season of True Crime, Ryan should dye his hair like a Shane. Hashtag Shaniac. Hashtag just do it.
Gonna be a pass.
No, you don't have to.
I think I'm good. Do you regret it, Blaine?
No, it was really fun. I'll probably do it one more time. I didn't.
What color?
Probably just blonde again. It was fun. It's a fun thing to do in the summertime. I had never done it. And then, quarantine, it gets you thinking crazy. And you're like,
yeah.
Well, let me live.
It also made you into a hat guy.
I was a hat guy.
The hats are good.
I was a hat guy pre-quarantine, but now I'm really dabbling into some strange hats.
A last question here from Grahamtown. This comes from Nico Bread.
Nico Bread!
For postmortem. I don't think he ran away because it doesn't make sense. I mean, he was already rich and thriving, and to run away from that, especially without any money, just doesn't make sense. Personally, I think his wife killed him and hired some hitmen because that's how it usually goes in movies. But also because if he was cheating on her, she might have decided to take revenge. IDK.
I'd like to counterpoint that by saying, I think these mega rich people,
Yeah.
I mean, to have that much money, you're connected to a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And I bet it's very tempting to figure out a way to just sever yourself.
Maybe, but here's a counterpoint.
I'm listening.
If you're rich enough to get bored like that and feel tied up,
Yeah.
wouldn't you then just pay for another identity in life?
Maybe he did.
But they would have seen evidence of that, I feel like.
Not if he paid enough.
Not if he paid it. But then they would have still seen that his account was different, unless he did it very sneaky
Unless he had some stuff under the mattress or had, a Swiss bank account or something.
Yeah, he had mattress funds.
Yeah.
You know what? I still think he ran away. I think Cool Joe's out there somewhere having a cool little daiquiri out over in Costa Rica. And he's
Slurping the deck.
he's just slurping it up in a hammock and just sunbathing like a fucking goddess.
I like the idea of him going to a disappear man and being like, here's my plans. You disappear me so I can go sunbathe like a fucking goddess.
And the disappear man goes, all right, you want the goddess package. All right.
Can it be there are only 2 episodes left this season?
This series. 2 episodes left of BuzzFeed Unsolved.
A dagger in my heart.
You know what episode 5 is, though?
Huh.
You know what? I'm not going to even give a hint for this one because
I'm sure you're dying to know what it's about, but you'll just have to wait.
you will have to wait. Well, that does it for this episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem. Make sure you watch the episode this Friday, and then leave your questions on the BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page, the BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page, or you can comment directly on the video on Bun, and maybe you'll be in the next episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, partner. Maybe. If you get there fast enough.